Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
This is the closing bell on the Stock Movers Report. The companies making moves at the close of U.S. trading with Carol Massar, Tim Stenovec, Romaine Bostick, and Katie Greifeld.
All right, guys, let's go to some of the individual gainers, if I may. We talked about crypto getting a bounce back here in today's session. A couple of names benefiting as a result. Coinbase, actually, your number 2 gainer in the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, up about 15% here. So you saw gains. This had to do with President Trump. There were some reports from Politico that the president met privately yesterday with Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, citing 2 people with knowledge, meeting coming ahead of a post that we got from the president late yesterday, pushing for passage of that market structure bill when it comes, when we're talking about the crypto market. Unclear what was discussed at the meeting, but we also had the President Trump posting about the powerful crypto agenda, and he kind of criticized banks about undermining and jeopardizing that powerful crypto agenda, and he went on social. But nonetheless, you did have many names in the crypto area. Coinbase up 14%. You had Strategy up about 10%, and you had Circle remain up about 5.5%. I know we have some earnings.
I'm just going to interrupt here. Software company Okta. This is mostly about identification management software. The shares oscillating between gains and losses. The company for the most recent quarter did post adjusted EPS of about 90 cents a share. That's about 5 cents more than what the street was looking for. Revenue jumped by about 12% to $761 million. That's also a beat. The street was looking on average for roughly about 750. Here's your guidance for the full year 2027, the fiscal 2027. Revenue in a range of 3.17 to 3.19. The low end of that range is the average of street estimates. EPS adjusted $3.74 to $3.82 is the guidance they're giving. The street on average was looking for 3.66.
All right, cool. We'll continue to watch that one in the aftermarket. Right now down almost about 2.5% Okta, so we'll keep an eye on that one for you. Back to, I mentioned the crypto space. That was certainly gaining in today's session. Moderna, number 1 gainer in the S&P 500, a gain of about 16% here. This is after the company agreed to pay Genevant. It's a subsidiary of Roivant Sciences and Arbutus, $950 million basically to settle litigation related to the delivery technology behind its COVID shot. That at issue was essentially claims that Moderna had infringed on patents owned by these 2 companies. And so nonetheless, basically, bottom line, the settlement really getting rid of a major financial litigation risk for Moderna. So we did see investors moving back into that one. The stock, I don't know if you guys noticed, we talked about this earlier with the Avalon Purnell. It's up about 100% year to date, still 19% of the float short, but it's definitely had quite a bounce back, still way off from its post-COVID levels. And then I just want to mention ROST Stores. This one, too, rallying about 8% in today's session. This after the company, off-price apparel and home accessories retailer reported comp sales growth for the 4th quarter of 9%, so that easily beat the consensus growth estimate of just under 5%. So we did see some upbeat. Telsey analyst Dana Telsey upgrading the stock to outperform from market perform and raised the price target to $240 from $220. Stock closing at $213 and change in the Wednesday trade. Tim?
All right, let's go to some of the decliners on the day today. I want to start with the Mosaic company, down 2.9%. This was a late mover after we learned the Justice Department is investigating several leading producers of commercial fertilizers, Mosaic among them, for possible civil and criminal antitrust violations. The probe examining companies' pricing practices and the investigations in the early stages and being run out of the DOJ Antitrust Division's Chicago office. Mosaic down by 2.9%. Brown-Forman among the worst performers in the S&P 500 day on a percentage basis, down close to 7%. You know what they make, Romaine?
Yes, I do. I'm a fine customer of theirs.
The Herradura tequila or the Jack Daniels?
I don't know what that first one you said there.
Oh,
I love the
tequila.
accent. Good job.
Okay. The company actually reported quarterly results that surpassed estimates. The problem, though, was the executives who flagged stubborn weakness in the U.S. spirits market. Yeah. The company's conference call, CEO said that while performance has improved in the U.S., quote, it's still not great. I do not want to declare that it's bottomed out, but over the last couple of months, the numbers have improved. This is according to Lawson Whiting, the company's CEO. Oh, Okay. Do we have time for a couple more, guys?
No.
Let's talk about American Eagle really quickly.
All right, go
Tim.
ahead.
Breaking
Go
news
ahead with the breaking
when it
news.
comes to the earnings front. Fourth quarter net revenue actually beating estimates when it comes to American Eagle. That number coming in for net revenue at $1.67 billion for the fourth quarter. The estimate had been for $1.74 billion, so a slight beat there. Meanwhile, you take a look at some of the expectations. They see first quarter operating income between $20 million to $25 million. The estimate had been for $15 million here. Looking for some more numbers, but 2027 CapEx seen between $250 million to $260 million. The estimate had been actually for more than $400 million, so below expectations there. But you can see the stock higher by about 7.6%. So clearly, traders cheering this in the after hours, though this stock down more than 15% year to date through today's close.
All right, what really goes well with that tequila that Tim pronounced so eloquently is some Cracker Barrel. And that stock is definitely rallying in the aftermarket, up about 5.2%. It's been on a tear. It's up about 20% so far in 2026. Let's go to it. Second quarter adjusted EPS, 25 cents a share. That compares with an expected and estimated loss of 27 cents a share. So we'll make sure that number is on that seems like quite a turnaround. Company also talking about the fiscal year adjusted EBITDA, 85 million to 100 million. It had seen 70 to 110 million. So bringing that one in a little bit. Second quarter revenue, 874.8 million, folks. That is a beat, 868.9 billion. And again, an outlook for revenue for fiscal year, for the fiscal year, 3.24 billion to 3.27 billion, had seen 3.2 to 3.3. So nonetheless, investors like it. It's up about 6%. So again, maybe with that tequila, it might go well.
Nice Cracker Barrel margarita. I could get behind that.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, why
so.
not?
I guess so. A margarita's a margarita, I guess, depending on the tequila.
Aren't you a snob?
Wait. Come on, you know it's true.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.